Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach, and I'm here at Walmart to get some tape. Tape is a big thing. There's been a lot of stamp talk, there's been a lot of boxes talk, and we're going to do the tape talk. The tape is, I go through 2 rolls a day. But anyway, I was all set. I usually, I got a little schedule, so I had to run out and get some tape. So anyway, here it is, ICEMAN number 2 of 5. I've heard this is just a 5-issue miniseries. Marvel doesn't tell you when things are a miniseries because most of their stuff ends up being a miniseries anyway. So this is a book that was brought back, number 1, out of spite, and number 2, as a corporate response to a 1/4 page article in the New York Times like last May. Yeah, that's literally why it exists. They learned absolutely nothing. They don't need to learn anything because they're on the right side of history and we're like garbage people and you're like trash. So it's been said by me and everyone else. This Iceman who was straight and was kind of a lovable guy. He kind of reminded me of Dave Coulier from Full House. That was basically the personality that Iceman had from the 60s until 2 years ago. And then they remade him as a catty, effeminate, shallow 1990s sitcom character. Yes, I know, Full House was a 1990s sitcom. I am aware of the irony in my statement. They show covers months before you actually get the book, and this is... I almost feel like Cena Grace might not actually be gay. He might be like this straight-ass dude. He was like a welder, and he was trying to get into comics, and it wasn't working. His name was like Sam Grant, and then he just had an epiphany. He's like, I'm gonna remake everything. What is the most cartoonishly femmy name I can get? And like he's watching like RuPaul's Drag Race. He's like, that's it. That's what I'm gonna do. Because I am saying, in my opinion, he does not gay very well. He seems to gay at an amateur level, and I think this guy's like around 40 or so. His pop culture references are very old, and he might even be older than that. But we start off right here, and like I said, they brought this back to wrap up the storyline, except for there's no actual drive in this. It's just 5 more issues to own the comic skaters. They're setting up some kind of Mr. Sinister thing. So we cut to gotta say one thing. So what I guessed when they had this thing is this is gonna be the cliche about the party girl and the really effeminate gay guy and their besties, but it's actually a lot more complicated than that. If you know people who, kind of like into party scene, especially younger, there's a lot of frenemies action going along there. There's a lot of gay male misogyny. I actually read an article. I think the article was also in the New York Times about this a couple years ago. So the other thing is that in classic SJW fashion, everyone has to act out of character to suit the needs of the story, which is really the politics of the writer. So Emma Frost, a woman who would probably rather die than ask for help, although she has done it a couple times in very dramatic situations, asks Bobby for help in something that she could easily handle by herself. Bobby, there's a family member I have to attend to that is rather delicate. To quote Admiral Akbar, it's a trap. Note to self, look into franchising the concession stand Admiral Snack Bar. It's literally like the half of the first page and I Picard facepalmed, and it took me like a minute or two. Okay. Admiral Snack Bar and It's a Trap. Those are memes from like 2011. Old man. Boomer. Get up current. We're doing prequel memes now. We're not doing OT memes. Prequel memes are on fire, man. They saved the meme game. After Zaxton and I were talking about, the meme game was strong in 2016, and then it kind of wore itself out. 2017 was kind of a weak year in the meme game. Just like, base hit Kermit memes, but man, the prequel memes are hot. So then she wants his help, and of course he's being overly demonstrative and emotional, and just like I said, just a 1990 sitcom character. Then she uses her powers to basically kidnap him and try to convince him, but then they present that as they never follow up on it. It's just okay. Ha ha ha. So we find out that her brother's gay and he's being abused by their father like it's the freaking 1800s. And she needs him because he's less susceptible to telepathic attacks when he's in ice. You know who else is less susceptible to telepathic attack? White Queen, who's like one of the most powerful telepaths on the planet. And she can also turn into friggin' diamond, which is harder than ice. Then we get to see Kitty Pryde run up kind of out of nowhere. I had to read this dialogue 3 times because it just doesn't make sense. In case that toxic war-starting monster in ice. Stay away from Bobby, Frost. Wait, so you're talking to 2 people? Oh, one's a command to Bobby and the other... Okay. So, then this is the little catty response. The hair is more Cynthia Nixon than Stamos. We're so old. Yes, I know Cynthia Nixon is running for governor in New York, but stop. It's kind of funny, like I hate Sina Grace for being stuck in the 90s, while I always talk about the 90s as an ideal time in comics. It kind of feels like that scene in, what is it? Attack of the Clones, where Yoda and Dooku are both shooting their force power at each other, and it's kind of going back and forth. It's like, the 90s were good, but not in that way, but yeah. So then, God, this is so awful. So basically, Kitty says she's a mind witch, she's messing with your mind. Emma may be a scorpion crammed into a white corset, but she actually has a vaguely sympathetic cause. She needs to play nice. I'll prove it. Emma, project my requests. And then she mentally projects a mirage of her as a housewife in curlers. If this isn't Emma serving some vulnerability, I don't know what it is. I know what it is. It's bad writing. Specifically, it's bad humor. Specifically, subcategory of bad humor. It's the bit where you write the punchline first and then you go backwards, and the setup does not do it at all. So then they start driving to, I guess, Connecticut. I don't know why. I always thought the White Queen was British. Maybe it was because Grant Morrison came on and he kind of wrote her the best. But I thought she was British. So her dad... Okay, let's see. What is the White Queen supposed to be? About 35 years old? Maybe 40. Her brother, again, probably about 30. Which means he was a kid. When he was a kid. He was a kid in like 9/11 times. But the dad was beating him, and he sent him to conversion therapy. Yes, conversion therapy, the hot thing to talk about in 1998 that 0.0001% of gay people actually went through. That's the plot. Why don't you just do recovered memories or Zubaz pants or any other stupid fad from the 1990s? So then what did she say? Okay, I already covered that. So then she went to go confront him at the upstate, or in the Connecticut. And then this other side person is way more powerful than the White Queen. More powerful. And nobody's ever detected this person ever. There's never been in a big... That was the whole deal. Cerebro. And, hey, the White Queen had the Hellions, and they actually used to look for... Yeah, she was not able to detect that her brother was actually a more powerful telepath than her. Oh, and also he could somehow get trapped in a convent that converts gays out of being gays. So then, what does he say? He goes, it all makes sense now. All this time I wondered why you never outed me. Emma Frost's heart thaws for her gay brother. Uh, she never outed you because people don't out people because most people are out because it's freaking 2018. Bobby, you're like 30. Maybe 32. That means you were a kid again. Oh, God, I'm going to have to do math in my head. You were 16 in the year 2000. Outing is like a thing from the 60s through the 80s, a little bit in the 90s, a little bit like around George Bush years. She didn't out you because nobody cares enough to out anyone. Who's she going to out you to? Second of all, and somebody brought this up, I forget what video it is. Emma's whole thing is she's a bitch. It would be way more entertaining to her to know about it and just subtly throw hints about it when it's just you two. So you get nervous. Oh, is she going to tell people? She doesn't care about what is this? The 1950s? What is this? Freaking 1800? Nobody cares. Okay. Oh, and her brother, who his name is Christian. Get it? Because you know the Christian, the gays. Yeah. So then her brother is fine. She thought he was going to be a basket case. Where's the dad? Turns out the dad is dead. He was killed for, I don't know, putting him into conversion therapy in 1993 when he was negative 8 years old. So then, I don't read every comic, so I was like, maybe she brought ICEMAN because she doesn't have that secondary mutation that lets her turn into Diamond. Oh yeah, she's Diamond right here. Maybe you had turned into Diamond earlier? No, that's fine. So then, again, it's just... This dialogue is awful. So he starts fighting the brother, and he goes, yeah, I thought that painting was tacky too. Oh, you catty gays and your catty gayness. Wow. No respect for all things nouveau riche. That's not... You don't even know what nouveau riche... This is obviously an old money family. Nouveau riche means like you just got into money and you're trying to show off. So then we see he's a little, what do you call it? Multiple personality. And then we go into Bobby's head because that's a safe place and he has to look like that. Yep. Okay. So yeah, so for some reason it has to be in Bobby's mind, whatever. So the deal is, again, with all the Cena Gray stuff, the plot is actually fine. You could have handed this off to, oh my gosh, you could have handed this off to Steve Orlando, a gay guy who does not act like a clown, and it would have been a solid plot. Now, you would have had to have some extenuating circumstances in the dialogue to explain why a telepath more powerful than the White Queen was never detected by anyone. You can do that in like freaking one paragraph. Just use your imagination. They don't do that. It just becomes all this like, 1990s and the gay conversion therapy. It's like, what does it say? She's talking to her brother. You're in pain and confused, my love. I brought you to Iceman's mind to show you something. The boy was lucky to have parents who merely smothered him with ideologies he could easily escape. Okay, this demonization of his parents, who have been shown to be completely normal, good-natured, kind, forgiving. His dad's a badass. His dad faked a heart attack to punch a terrorist, or try to punch a terrorist. He didn't land it, but he tried. Just a good family. They said one thing. Basically, they were uncomfortable with Bobby, and it might have been having to do with him having a completely different personality, suddenly, out of nowhere. And he's friends with two mind witches. So, again, on Bobby. And even luckier to have found a family that accepted him for the self-obsessed, neurotic brat he's become. What? He wasn't like that. Like I said, he was basically the Dave Coulier character from Full House. For 50 plus years, 60 years. Bobby's chosen family helped him embrace the parts of himself that he thought were shameful. His powers, his sexuality, his identity. Okay, so this is interesting because they just added the word identity as separate from sexuality. So are you saying that Bobby was always this effeminate, catty, shallow, stupid, silly person you can't respect, and he didn't have the bravery to let that out until he also came in that closet, or Jean Grey mind witched him into being, what was his name, Jack from Will and Grace? He's Jack. Oh my gosh, what did he say? They kept giving me pills when they starved the gay out of me. Where were you? Okay, so then when they has like a catharsis, and then they're hugging, and then she's like, hey, so yeah, so he's really powerful. Oh, I forgot. Since he's a gay, I literally think Grace thinks there's only one type of gay person, because every gay person he writes, oh no, I can't say that. No, I was wrong. He wrote Richter as just like a completely normal guy. Just like a regular, masculine, normal, gay guy. But look at the brother. He's like, pinky swear. So then, you remember when he killed his father? Well, he's never going to jail for that. Which was obviously murder. Yes, even if your dad hit you and put you into gay conversion therapy in 1993 when you were negative 5.5 years old, not even born yet, you can't murder people. It's an actual crime. So then they're like, hugs. And then like he's like, I guess I got caught murdering my dad, and I will face no consequences because something homophobia something. It's still a crime. It's still a crime. So then Bobby had to ice sled home, and he gets a text on single not stirred. You have a match. Holy smoke! Score! A match for Bobby. Ice match. He's cute, works in property development, and he lives in Manhattan. I'm in love. Damn. Stop. Okay, I was going to say stop. Actually, technically, this has already stopped. If issue 2 came out, issue 5 has already been written. So, yes, white, clean, Sllaayyy. You take that, theoretical 1990s mean TV father in a after-school special who never really exists. It was just a fantasy of people who are obsessed with oppression porn. Take that! You incel. Anyway, I've been getting lazy on the rips. I have been getting lazy on the rips. I got plugged in. Everything's going crazy. And I don't want to show my feet. All right, nice simple rip. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe. Make sure you still subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. Thanks to everyone giving to the Patreon and the Indiegogo. You're funding original content, and I will have another new comic review up today after I ship like 130 copies of Ironsides. Thanks. Bye.